Good evening. This is the Vsb Tv 11 News for Thursday, February 20th. I'm Peter Cattell. Our top story. Striking crews from the Bermuda Ferry Service chose today to break the law and stay off the job, despite the issuance of a labor dispute notice that states a lockout, strike, or regular industrial action short of a strike is unlawful, unless preceded by the giving of 21 days' notice. Home Affairs Minister Senator Michael Fay took this action after Transport Minister Sean Crockwell had last night obtained an injunction from the Chief Justice in an effort to ensure that essential services resumed. As a result, pilots and tug and line boat operators returned to work, but when the minister attempted to refer the dispute to arbitration, consent could not be obtained from the required parties. Mr. Fay called this afternoon for all non-essential workers to withdraw their action and return to work. But at news time, there had been no sign of the ferry service being resumed, and a press conference called by the BIU failed to take place. The Bermuda Police Service is asking the public's assistance in locating missing person 48-year-old Mary Beth Sherwin. She is described as a white female, small-framed, 5 foot 6 inches tall, and about 120 pounds. Ms. Sherwin was last seen on Saturday, February the 15th. Vsb's Brian Darby spoke with police media spokesperson Dwayne Keynes about some of the unusual circumstances surrounding the situation.
Are you concerned for her well-being?
Certainly at this point in time, she's been classified as a vulnerable person, and we want to ensure that she's returned to her family safely. Again, there's a point of concern in the community. She has not been seen, and we're now looking for the vulnerable persons unit is handling the investigation. We're asking anyone who may have seen her movements or knows where she is, we're asking you to contact police on 295-0011. Now, her car is a missing piece of the puzzle. Again, it's a green Suzuki Wagon R. The license plate number is 05252. If you see the vehicle, immediately contact police.
Flanked by 9 members of the Progressive Labour Party hierarchy, Deputy Leader Derek Burgess today held a press conference to respond to yesterday's legal action by the Premier. We are standing strong for our leader, Mark Bean, and Shadow Finance Minister David Burt, the Deputy Leader stressed, and after giving a detailed account of the alleged events that led to the current political firestorm, he had this to say.
We would like to make it very clear, and I say very clear, our members will not be silenced by legal threats or any legal action in order to suppress the truth. And the Premier cannot hide these legal threats as his version of events and now being challenged by his own cabinet ministers. Ultimately, Bermudians must decide who spoke the truth, as the whole integrity of our system of governance is being tested in a manner that this country has never witnessed before. The truth must prevail, and the Premier must stop ducking questions and reveal to the country the nature of his and his business partners' relationships with Mr. Nathan Landau. Any potential development is far too important to the future of this country. We need jobs for our people, and the Premier is putting this at risk by his refusal to speak to his relationship with potential casino developer. There is an RFP process underway, and improper contact can derail this process and thus delay any development. Our country cannot afford this outcome, and that is why it is important for the Premier to explain the nature of his relationship with Mr. Nathan Landau.
There was a changing of the guard today at Defonce Broadcasting when President and CEO Kenneth Defonce stepped down, turning the duties over to Bermuda-based KG Limited, who will run it with the existing management team. Vsb's Charles Webb shed some light on the man who started it all.
To say that Kenneth Defonce is a private person is to put it mildly. But the truth is, he avoided the limelight. From his modest, windowless office on Reed Street, he ran the Defonce Broadcasting Companies for 30 years and resisted the glitter and glamour that comes with television broadcasting. Kenny, or Mr. D as he was known, would readily admit to a love affair with television from the days of his childhood. Formerly a television and radio technician, he pursued his dream by starting a radio station in 1981 when 1450 Girl was born. 10 years later, Vsb TV took to the air, followed by Mix 106 FM. Kenny knew how to fix every glitch in broadcasting equipment, from the disc jockey's board to the Fort Hill Devonshire antenna. Suffice to say that although he has stepped aside to make way for a new management team, it is fair to say that Defense Broadcasting will always retain the stamp of its founder. Sir Kenny, or Mr. D, all of us here at Defense Broadcasting wish you well. For VSB News, I'm Charles Webb.
One of the contentious issues keeping Bermuda's marine and ports crews on the shore is the lack of information they have been able to obtain to questions they have been asking about the cost of running the Rhode Island charter boat Millennium. BIU President Chris Ferbert listed the 7 questions the union has posed, while announcing that the unionized members of the Ports Division would be withdrawing their labor out of frustration.
We asked on the 7 questions, what is the total expenditure of the vessel Millennium while under contract and operating in Bermuda? First question. Second question was, what was the total fuel cost up to the end of the contract? Number 3, what was the total cost of wages for staff and including any overtime hours? Number 4, what was the total cost for the accommodations for the Millennium staff? Because the government or the ministry is picking up the cost of that. What was the total cost of the furnish for the apartment? Because apparently we purchased furnishings for the apartments that they were staying in. The last 2 is what was the total cost of the airfares, because they had rotating staff every 3 weeks. There's flying staff in and flying staff out. And the final question was, what was the total passenger ridership for the duration of the Millennium contract? Those questions were asked way back in December, crystal clear to the minister, and we have yet to date to receive any answer to any of these questions. Now, to be fair, and I don't want anybody to think that the cat is out, and speaking with the PS this morning, they did say, well, the meeting today was couldn't happen, but tomorrow we should be able to give you an update on the how powerful, which is one of the outstanding issues, and also the Millennium. So maybe he's bringing the information tomorrow. But from the workers' point of view, the information should have came a long time ago.
Still ahead on the TV 11 News, local jazz greats get the chance to grace the Bermuda Festival stage. But next is Che with the weather preview.
Hey, thanks, Peter. Let's take a look at the Doppler radar. As you can see, not much going on right now, but will this fantastic weather we had today continue right through the weekend? Fingers crossed. I'll have more coming up later.
The weather radar picture provided courtesy of the Ministry of Transport on Vsb Tv 11.
Save $1.40 on Purdue Fresh Chicken Drumsticks, just $1.99 per pound for a family pack. California Mineola Tengellos, just 89 cents each. Only $1.39 for a 1-pound box of Ronzoni Elbow Macaroni. Snack on Wise Potato Chips, only $1.49 for a 3.75-ounce bag. Sierra Mist, Mug Root Beer, or Pepsi Soda, $2.99 for a 2-liter bottle. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Copyfax is Bermuda's authorized Samsung dealer. See a large range of Samsung color and black and white multifunctional machines, printers, scanners, faxes, and copiers, and all net workable. Copyfax has Samsung machines suitable for home, office, or any size business in an A4 format, taking up less room than other similar equipment. And replacement supplies are in stock for all of their Samsung products. Affordable shopping at Copyfax Limited, where service comes first.
Minister of National Security Michael Dunkley commended Dr. Kyla Rayner, who is Senior Research Officer and Policy Analyst within the Department for National Drug Control, for recently traveling to Trinidad and Tobago to facilitate a meeting of the jurisdiction's National Drug Information System. The move came about as part of a new international collaboration between the Department for National Drug Control and the Organization of the American States through the Inter-American Drug Abuse Control Commission. Minister Dunkley highlighted the contributions Dr. Rayner made at the meetings.
Dr. Rayner moderated a session on marijuana policy reform, particularly decriminalization and legalization perspectives. The legal and social consequences of changes to current laws was assessed, and a dialogue on international treaties, specifically the United Nations Single Convention on Narcotic Drugs, and country-level implications of violating the convention, was debated at great length. In addition, she led and mediated working groups discussing data management issues, drug-related indicators, and annual reports. She also met with the technical committee of the country's drug information system to discuss the challenges that Bermuda encountered in establishing its data collection system and how data collection is undertaken within our country. Dr. Rayner used this country to offer possible solutions to establishing and sustaining data collection, which has been practiced in coordinating the burden. The Inter-American Drug Abuse Control Commission has mentioned the possibility of additional horizontal cooperation of this nature on its behalf to assist a few of the more advanced countries within the Caribbean and the Americas to progress to the next level, as Bermuda is in a position to do so.
When noted jazz pianist Tony Barry, a 30-year veteran of the Bermuda musical stage, was invited to put together a jazz evening for the 2014 Bermuda Festival of the Performing Arts, he never hesitated. It was one of his dreams. And over the past year, he has been carefully creating a perfectly balanced group of musicians and singers for this Saturday night's unique concert at the City Hall. Vsb News' Brian Darby asked him who and what would be on the menu.
First of all, Mr. Conrad Roach will be coming out. He's a wonderful trumpet player and a pianist, but he's also a teacher of music. Very vital here to Bermuda.
I see Gita Blakeney in the lineup.
Yes, then after Conrad, Gita will be in the first half of the show, and she will send goosebumps through your veins because not only is she swinging, but she sings a beautiful song, a ballad that she's going to do. And I shake when I play it because I have to play it so sensitive because the words are very sensitive. She'll be performing that, and then she'll be swinging out. All the songs that we'll be playing will be songs that are recognized in the jazz world, and they're great swinging stuff. That's just the first half, because the second half of the show will be featuring the lovely and talented Sheila Smith. Also, like Gita, both the female vocalists that I am their musical director. Any vocalist needs a pianist. Any team needs a quarterback. The finale, I decided that like I say, inviting people that I have shared my music with, and I shared a lot of memorable moments at Hubie's Bar with the group called Spirit that was run by Mr. Dennis Francis, Mr. Earl Leader, Mr. Denton Leader, and Tony Cox, Mr. Derek Simmons, and Jade Miners there on saxophone.
This is a first, isn't it?
Well, it is. I try to calm everyone down. Everyone is a bit excited. But I said, let's just take this as a regular night out that we would be playing at the Princess Hotels or any other place that we have had memorable musical moments. And now this will be the moment that we'll all remember.
Tonight, we take great pleasure in bringing you another feature that you will find of interest. Each Thursday night before the stocks, we will be running a 2-minute report on the latest trends and developments in the Bermuda insurance industry, brought to you by Bermuda Re. Here is the first. Validus decision could stoke political fires. The decision by a U.S. District Court judge to grant excise tax refunds on retrocessional reinsurance contracts may stoke political flames. This is according to Goldberg-Segalia partner Jeffrey Kingsley. Kingsley believes that the decision made in Validus Re's favor may spur on proposals in Congress to modify the tax code with respect to foreign insurers. The U.S. government may challenge the decision, but the strict language of the disputed clause limits the prospects of a successful appeal, Kingsley says. Cash steps in as Lund leaves BDA. Stephen Lund has resigned from his role as the CEO of the Bermuda Business Development Agency, known as BDA, after less than a year of service to return to his family in Canada. David Cash, the former CEO of Endurance and deputy chairman of the BDA, will fill in as CEO until a permanent replacement is found. Broker facilities impact profitability and underwriting judgment. Broker sidecar facilities may erode confidence in underwriting, says Paula Jazabakowski, professor of strategic management at the Cass Business School. According to Jazabakowski, the sidecar facilities are driving property insurance pricing down and creating automatic capacity. She says they have the potential to undermine the need for underwriting talent. BMA hits 5 registrations for January. The Bermuda Monetary Authority registered 5 new entities in the first month of 2014, including 3 Class 3A reinsurers. Rubik Re, Hyalene Re, and Swan Re were all registered. 5 insurance applications were reviewed last month, of which 3 were approved and 2 declined. Hedge fund considers Bermuda reinsurer. Pine River Capital Management, the $14.3 billion hedge fund firm, is reportedly looking to raise $750 million to capitalize a new reinsurer called Pine River Re. If successful, Pine River Re will be the largest hedge fund to move into the reinsurance space in recent years. The startup would be led by ex-Endurance president Bill Jewett. U.S. hedge funds view Bermuda reinsurance as complementary to their asset management strategy. And that's our insurance news roundup for the week, brought to you by Bermuda Re. Join us again next Thursday on the Vsb Tv News for another update. Now it's time for the Business Report, brought to you by Bias.
And here are the daily markets presented by Bias. U.S. and European stocks rose as better than it forecast manufacturing data tempered concerns about the U.S. economy. North American indices advanced after a reading on manufacturing activity hit a 4-year high. The S&P rose 0.75% to 1,843. The Dow Jones Industrial increased 0.7% to 16,159. Bank of NT Butterfield dropped 2.86% to $1.70 with 1,386 shares trading hands. Marsh & McLennan rose 1.11% to $48.10. The FTSE 100 rose 0.24% to 6,813 as better than forecast U.S. manufacturing reports offset the Federal Reserve tapering signals. The CAC 40 rose 0.33% to 4,355. China's stocks fell on disappointing data from Chinese manufacturing. The Nikkei 225 retreated 2.15% to 14,449. The Hang Seng Index declined 1.19% to 22,394. Brazil's Vsb advanced 0.29% to 47,289 as Bank of Brazil rallied on news that Brazil's Supreme Court will delay a $63 billion lawsuit filed against lenders. The Mexican Bolsa dropped 0.82% to 39,678. Treasuries continue to drop amid bets that the Federal Reserve will continue to reduce bond purchases. The U.S. 10-year yield increased 1 basis point to 2.75%. The euro retreated versus major currencies as measures of the European services and manufacturing both dropped. The U.S. dollar rose on speculation the Federal Reserve will continue to reduce monetary stimulus. And that was a look at today's markets, brought to you by Bias.
beautiful environment. One way to help keep it that way is to always remember your reusable grocery bag. If you forgot, you can still do your part in saving our planet by buying a Marketplace green bag for only $1.19. Not only are they good for groceries, but they're handy for many other uses. Always have your bags in sight of you or put your grocery list in one so that you don't forget your reusable bags. You and the Marketplace are helping to save the environment by choosing to reuse.
It's our fantastic February savings event going on now. We have something for every room of your home and incredible savings all month long. Browse around our site to find exactly what you're looking for. New styles, new colors, a new look for your home. We have a huge selection of beautiful furniture and amazing prices that won't last long. So stop in today. You won't want to miss our fantastic February savings event going on now.
Hi, I'm Diane Carlson. I'll be broadcasting live from the Coldwell Banker Bermuda Realty Home Show at Cedar Bridge Academy on Saturday between 10 a.m. and 12 noon during the Rick Dees Weekly Top 40 on Mix 106 FM. Stop by and say hello.
As part of the Black History Month observance, Vsb Tv 11 is showing relevant films on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. As a result, NBC network programming, including Olympic coverage, will be interrupted at these times.
Bermuda's gymnasts are improving by leaps and bounds, and 16-year-old Gabby Vincent is leading the charge. Miss Vincent recently won 3 medals at the Chicago-style Invitational, of which 2 were gold. Bermuda won a total of 12 medals at the prestigious meet. Miss Vincent told VSB Sports that her focus is now on the Commonwealth Games.
There were 9 of us, and we went to Chicago.
Okay, yes. And
the meet was one of the biggest gymnastics meets in the world in terms of like how many gymnasts go to it.
How big? Like hundreds and hundreds of athletes?
Yeah, 4,000.
Thousands of athletes?
Yes.
And you won 3 medals in which disciplines?
I won medals in vault, bars, and the all-around.
What was the competition like?
It's really very stressful because there's so many people, and so much competition, but it was really good competition.
I mean, to medal in one event is exceptional to me, but to medal in 3, you must be doing some really hard work. Who's putting you through your paces?
My coach Duke and Amanda, they're the good coaches that I have.
How long have you been, you're 16 now,
yeah.
How long have you been doing gymnastics?
Since I was about like 6, 7.
So you're a 10-year veteran at 16?
Yes.
So what's next for Gabby? Where do you go from here? What are your aspirations?
Well, my dream and goal is to do gymnastics in college, but the next meets we have coming up are the Commonwealth Games in Scotland.
You're heading over to Scotland?
Yes.
Are there any others, or is it just you?
No, there's others going.
A team?
Yes.
This will be your first Commonwealth Games, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, Gabby.
It's going to be big, but I'm ready for it.
Right.
I'm getting ready.
Yeah, a good performance there could lend you or put you well on course for a scholarship. You're aware of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is my.
So special work between here and the Commonwealth Games. I mean, what will you do differently between here and there? Because this is senior competition, senior level.
Yes. Well, I just need to stay very focused and work hard and get the new skills that I need to be able to do well in these competitions.
Who else on your team? Because we're talking to you, but who else on the gymnastics squad is doing exceptionally well in your view?
I think all of the team is doing well because we're reaching lots of heights that we never knew we could get to. Everyone's pushing harder than we ever thought we could.
Yeah, okay. So your dream for 2014 is?
Commonwealth Games. And
medaling at Commonwealth Games or the final?
Yes, medaling and just going and doing and proving to myself that I can handle such a big competition.
Right. I've watched some, is it Nadia Comaneci or something way back when?
Yeah.
Who's your role model? Who do you look up to as, tennis players say Serena, footballers say Messi and all that? Who do you look up to?
I would have to say Gabby Douglas.
In celebration of Black History Month, the Defense Broadcasting Company Limited is proud to present films acknowledging the contributions made by black people throughout the world. See these historic films at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays during Black History Month. On Vsb Tv 11, sponsored by Belco, Lindo's, Gibbons Company, Bermuda Bistro, Caesar's Pharmacy, and Sports R Us.
Well, the weather's gotten much better, so much to the delight of my wife and daughter, Beard had to go. I'm Jay Barker, and this is your weather. Let's take a look at our weather shot for today, and it was a fantastic day. Warmed right up. Doug Roberts sent this shot at 3 p.m. over Mangrove Bay in Somerset, and as you can see, blue skies as far as the eye could see. Nice and warm, just a great, who believe it, winter day. Thank you, Doug, for sending in this shot. Our highs and lows for today, well, our high temperature, look at that, 73 degrees at 2 p.m. And our low temperature, 66 at 7 a.m. this morning. Currently, we're looking at 70 degrees, humidity of 80%, winds out of the west at 8 to 12 knots, and the barometric pressure is steady at 30.25 inches. Rainfall for February, so far we've seen 4.74 inches. Bringing our total all the way up to 10.97 inches. And look at that, still 2 inches off of the 8.88 we normally have seen. Take a look at our satellite map. Well, surface high pressure continues to provide fair weather and generally light winds through Saturday. We have a cold front that will approach from the north on Sunday, bringing moderate winds and a few showers on Sunday afternoon into Monday, with a chance of thunder on Monday, but looking pretty good for the weekend. In Atlanta, rains are likely in 57 degrees, 65 and rain in Boston, Charlotte, rain in 65, 50 degrees and partly cloudy in London, Miami, mostly cloudy and 83, New York, rain and 50. You can see on the East Coast it's really warmed up quite a bit, 84 in Orlando and possible thunderstorms, Philadelphia, rain and 57, 39 still not warm in Toronto, and heavy rain in Toronto and Washington, rain and 56 degrees. For tonight, we're looking at a low of 64 degrees, partly cloudy, winds out of the west-northwest at 5 to 10 knots, and then they'll be light and variable later on. For tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 72, so the good weather seems to continue. Winds out of the southeast at a mild 5 to 8 knots, and they'll veer southerly and pick up a little, increase to 10 to 15 overnight. For mariners tonight, there are no small craft warnings in effect. Seas inside the reef 1 foot, seas outside the reef 3 to 5 feet, and the sea temperature 68 degrees. For mariners tomorrow, it's no warnings in effect. Seas inside again, 1 foot. Seas outside, still 3 to 5 feet. Low tide will be at 6:30 a.m. and high tide is at 12:17 p.m. Take a look at our 5-day forecast. Well, you can see 70s all the way through. Friday, mostly sunny, 72. Partly cloudy on Saturday and 73. Sunday, sunny breaks, 1 or 2 morning showers. Hopefully they'll go away. High of 70. Mostly cloudy on Monday with showers, a chance of thunder late. High of 71. And on Tuesday, mostly cloudy, maybe some showers. High of around 70. I'd like to thank the Bermuda Weather Service and send a special shout out to all my friends down at Belco keeping the lights on. Thanks very much. I'll see you guys again real soon.
Thanks for tuning in to the TV 11 News. Good night.
Peter Cattell's attire courtesy of A.S. Cooper & Sons Limited.
Vsb Tv 11, Bermuda.